On this show, I've been covering the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in a way that you won't hear from the U.S. corporate media. Why? Because the corporate media lackeys for the U.S. government. We already know that the U.S. government has complete allegiance toward America's biggest ally in the Middle East, Israel. As I mentioned before, last weekend, the RT office in Gaza, along with multiple other media offices, were bombed by Israeli forces. Well, the day of the bombing of the RT office, this article came out, and Algemeiner.com coined the fastest growing Jewish newspaper in America. It's entitled, "Russia Today Presenter Accuses Israel of Terrorism and Apartheid." And underneath the photo caption, it says, "Pro-terror Russia Today presenter, Abby Martin." Interesting, and here I was thinking that I was speaking out against terror. Silly me. The author, Lakana Nana Yakara, writes that I accused Israel of war crimes, terrorism, and practicing an apartheid state through multiple reports I had made the week prior. First of all, thanks for watching the show. And I'm not going to sit here and dispute the claims made in this article. I'll say it, I said it then, and I'll say it now. Israel is practicing apartheid. And it's not just me who's saying it. It's Noam Chomsky, it's Chris Hedges, it's multiple other human rights activists and journalists worldwide. And yep, according to Protocol 1, Article 79 of the Geneva Convention, it's a war crime to target journalists. And dropping white phosphorus on an open-air prison is also a war crime. Lastly, let's talk about what the word terrorism really means. The definition is the systematic use of terror, often violent, especially as a means of coercion. So by that definition, is Israel not responsible for terrorizing Palestinians with house demolitions, unwarranted arrests, torture, checkpoints, psychological warfare, and detention? But let's backtrack for a second. Who is behind Algemeiner.com? Who has said such nice things about me? Well, I did a little digging. Its parent company is a Jewish media organization called Gershon Jacobson Jewish Continuity Foundation. Some of the benefactors of the foundation include the Israeli Ministry of Tourism and Israel Bonds. And it has been endorsed by Senator Joe Lieberman, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, as well as Gabriela Shalev, the permanent representative of Israel to the United Nations. So where am I going with all of this? Well, 2 days after the RT office was bombed in Gaza, an email from the spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister's office, Alex Selsky, arrived to the head of RT's Moscow branch. No, not apologizing for bombing RT, but instead, he gave an oddly veiled threat where he claimed that RT's coverage is one-sided regarding the conflict. Not only did he not apologize, but Netanyahu's own spokesperson basically insinuated that the RT station is fair game to be attacked because of the side we've taken in our coverage. I guess this is their way of saying, you want to cover Gaza fairly? Well, this is what you get. Unacceptable and despicable behavior coming from the office of the Israeli Prime Minister. Look, if you aren't convinced that Israel's full-on war against the media quite yet, check this out. According to a recent press release by the human rights organization Adala, quote, following complaints received about the intention of the Israeli army to demolish the Al-Sharok Tower, also called the Journalist Tower in Gaza City, the 15-story building, which housed both local Arab and international media agencies such as Al Arabiya, Al Quds TV, Sky News, France 24, and Russia TV, was hit this morning, the 5th day of the Israeli military offensive named Operation Pillar of Cloud. Local media sources reported that 8 journalists were injured in the initial attack. In fact, IDF spokesperson Avital Labovich even admitted to the press, quote, "We obviously knew there were journalists in the building." Here's the deal. Israeli forces bomb media buildings in Gaza deliberately. And whether or not they targeted RT, we do not know. But what we do know is that they had the audacity to try to rationalize it. So why would they be targeting journalists unless they were trying to conceal the truth? And for any Israel-backed media that attempts to smear my name, this show, and this network, keep this in mind. This is an opinion show, and I'm entitled to my own opinion. But the facts are the facts. And sometimes the truth hurts, doesn't it?